here we are. Final video of this course. You should be very proud of yourself. This was pretty difficult, but I really hope I change your life. And I really hope you implement these tools because they will make everything so much better. This last video is short and we're going to talk about common challenges, right? These little friction points I've referred to earlier. The first one is failure to add tasks. Yeah, that's absolutely. You create this task matrix, you start populating it, and nobody else uses it. I've been there. I've done that. I've literally been there. It's happened. Okay. Well, you need buy-in for the person in charge. And hopefully if you're looking at this, you're the person in charge. So you will request that each task assigned be added, right? So when somebody's giving their asks, say, hey, that's great. Thank you so much. Be sure to add that to the task matrix. Thank you so much. Also request that each task received be added. Look, you may have a very recalcitrant assigning attorney, and I understand that. In that case, you tell the people who are receiving the tasks, add them to the spreadsheet. And they will. That's the reality, is that the people doing the work will actually be highly incentivized to put the tasks in the task sheet because that's a great way to keep a to-do list. So ask them to do it. You could also say that it's the Scrum Master's role in part, right? If they're hearing asks, if they're hearing stuff happening, tell the Scrum Master, hey, or the Scrum Masters, hey, go ahead and add the tasks as they come along because we want to make sure we get them on a task matrix. There's also automation systems out there. So there are systems where in a chat function, for example, or an email function, if you use certain magical words, it'll auto add them to a to-do list or a task management system. That's a little bit more complex, but it is there. It's doable. And then for sure, you should leverage the Scrum and the task matrix in order to populate the task matrix, right? Like that is the key time. And not while it's happening. I said that earlier and I don't want it to be misinterpreted. It's not, if it's a quick task and you can add it, boom, 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 yeah. But actually the real way to leverage the Scrum is by telling people, hey, if you have asks, and as you're getting your thoughts sorted, go ahead and put them in a task matrix. And then you can just read them out loud when you're going through your asks. And that's one way to both reinforce the use of the Scrum, preparation for the Scrum, and implementation of the task matrix. Failure to update status. Oh, that's a big one. That's a big one. That's a really big one. Okay. Remind people at the end of each Scrum, hey, before tomorrow's Scrum, please remember to update the task matrix with what just happened today. Hey, everybody, tomorrow, please make sure to update this task matrix before the Scrum. You can also actively do so during the Scrum, but because it's only 15 minutes, that's sometimes hard to do. And then you definitely want to actively do so during the matrix review. Here's the thing. Okay, I'm just going to tell you. Shame is a very good motivator. If it's like the third week in a row that someone, like the Scrum Master, has to clean up someone's task matrix because all their tasks are still there, I think it becomes pretty obvious. Like, hey, can you please keep this updated? Can you please use it in your everyday life? Thank you. The next challenging part is the failure to consult the task matrix. All right. First, make the task matrix necessary for communication. This is controversial, and I know you may not want to do it. I'm just letting you know. If the task is not on the matrix, it doesn't exist. It's not assigned. It will not get done. I mean, draconian, but effective, you know? The other thing you want to do is that you want to include a link to the task matrix in the calendar entries, both for the Scrums and for the matrix review. That way, it's really easy. It's always there. People don't get lost. I don't know where it is. I don't know what's it. No, the link is right there. Every time you have a Scrum, click. Every time you have a matrix review, click. You have it right there. And then I've mentioned this, obviously, but one really important way to do this is to share the screen or have each member pull it up during the meeting so that everybody's working off the same document at the same time. Issues, obstacles, and growing pains continued. Well, cases falling off the task matrix. All right. Well, we know that's a cardinal sin, but basically you request that each task assigned be added, and you will also say the rule. You will tell everybody no active matter can have no task. Okay? And honestly, if you find that to be true, and you are not the person who can assign tasks, you put the case name and review for tasks or schedule meeting for this case. You call a meeting for the case and say, this has no more tasks. What are we doing? That's a great opportunity and a very active initial task to get everybody going. There might be such a thing as a task overload. I have seen that too. I once asked an associate to put her tasks on the task matrix, and it's just lines and lines and lines and lines of stuff. Okay. But not all of it was stuff she was doing right now. Some of it was stuff like way into the future. Okay, there's a tool called the backlog. That's for a whole separate course because it's in pillar 2 of the livable law method. But the synopsis is that the backlog is a spreadsheet where you store tasks that don't have to be done right away, but you don't want them forgotten. So you just shove them in your backlog. They're like, they're that closet in the house where you shove all the stuff you don't want to put away. That's the backlog. And then this, passive tasks are a no-no. And we went over this, but I wanted to remind you. Recap. We are here. This is it. Final moments. Hang in there with me. Tools and techniques. What have you learned? What have you learned over this course? Task matrix. Great. Scrum. Once a day, Monday through Friday, 15 minutes. Matrix review. Once a week, 90 minutes. Same day, every week. Those are the 3 tools that will change your life if you implement them, and I strongly encourage you to do so. And that's it. That's the end of pillar 1 of the livable law method. I hope I have given you the tools and the empowerment to go out there and make the practice of law more livable, because in the end, all I want for you is to uncrush your life. Thank you for hanging in with me. My name is Juji Carminati. I am the founder of the Livable Law Method, and it was a pleasure teaching you this course.